So we got the Denver Nuggets just defeated the highly favored LA Clippers in the Western Conference semifinals. No one expected them to win, and it's even more impressive because the Nuggets came back in the first round down 3-1 to the Utah Jazz, so they overcame that, and then once again they went down 3-1 to the Clippers, and they overcame that as well, and they're now going to meet the LA Lakers, another Los Angeles team, and like you said, it's starting on Friday, so in 2 days from now, and this Nuggets team is exciting, they're resilient, you have to give them their props. No one saw them coming this far along. No matter how talented Jamal Murray is and Nikola Jokic, no one saw this team potentially going to the finals. This is going to be another big step for them if they could, beat the Lakers, who are they had the second overall best record in the league, and they were the number one seed in the West. So if they could unseat the Lakers as well, holy shit, I'm just going to go for them to win the finals if they do this as well, because at that point, even at this point now, you have to, think they have the momentum.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and they are a good team. They're being very well coached right now. Only thing is do not fucking fall down 3-1 against the Lakers, because that's going to be a very tough mountain to climb to come back and win that series to get to the finals. But I definitely think they're capable of beating the Lakers. They've showed us a lot. Fucking Jokic and Jamal Murray have been fucking playing out of their minds. Jokic, motherfucker. Jokic. Only had 16 points last night, but he had 22 rebounds and 13 assists to go with it.
Yeah, triple-double. And when you saw him, every time they double-teamed him, he threw the perfect pass.
He makes the right pass. He's a very good... He's probably the best passing big man right now in the game.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
But, it's a fucking... The Clippers were such a disappointment. Me personally, I feel like this is what you get kind of moment. Because when Dame Lillard missed the free throws, you guys were laughing and joking. Paul George, you were calling yourself Playoff P. More like Way Off P. More like Pandemic P.
Yeah, word.
Plenty of nicknames out there for you, but not fucking Playoff P. I'm done hearing that shit. Him and Kawhi Leonard, 24 points combined.
Yeah, and the biggest stat that I did pull up, yes, they did have 24 points combined, but 0 for 11 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Now, you talking about in a game when you're down, game 7, that's when it fucking matters. You could score nothing in the first 3 quarters, but if you are those two pillars, you are those superstars that were brought in to take this team over the hump, and you go 0 for 11 in the fourth when these other guys are doing whatever the fuck they want, yeah, that's bad, man. There's no way you could get around that. Obviously, they both had bad games at the worst time. And we know that, they're great players. And a guy like Kawhi has done it before. But, come on, man. There's no excuse for that in the fourth quarter of a Game 7. And you absolutely do nothing. You don't even get a free throw. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. They went 10 for 38 combined for the game.
Oh, yeah.
That's ugly.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. And then on the other end of it, you got Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Patrick Beverley, Marcus Morris, who are supposed to be 4 of the top defenders in the league. And Jamal Murray kicked the shit out of you guys last night.
Yeah, dropped 40, right?
Yeah, I hit 6 threes. I don't give a fuck who was guarding him. You weren't stopping him.
Yeah.
So, to come in, maybe this will get the Clippers focused for next year. Because this year they were not focused. I don't give a fuck what anybody's going to tell me about these games between the load management throughout the regular season. I remember one of the episodes late in the regular season, we actually talked about how their starting 5 has practiced together about 3 times.
Wow, that's crazy.
This was after the All-Star break that we talked about this. This was like right before they shut the league down. So between that, the load management, the nonchalantness that you came into the bubble with, Lou Williams leaving. Now, listen, I get you guys left for, personal reasons. Everything was supposedly a family emergency. I hope it is. I don't fuck with people lying about that shit. Like, that's asking for fucking bad karma.
Yeah, word.
But, you make the stop at Magic City. Patrick Beverly, you disappeared from the bubble. Montrezl Harrell, I know he had a family issue. But when you guys come back, well, first of all, when you guys came into the bubble to begin with, none of these guys were in shape. And that's being talked about a lot on all the shows and the radio shows and shit, is your superstars and the core of your team not being in fucking shape. You had 4 months off. You couldn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
What's the excuse?
All you gotta do was fucking run.
Literally, like, just go outside and fucking run until you're, like, dead. You know what I mean? You have to come back next year. They got too much talent on this team to lose the way they did last night.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, when a team like this, who was, highly favored and looked at to be in the finals, and, they were put in pencil to be in the Western Conference Finals from day one. Yeah, it didn't work out this year. It is what it is. It's a weird fucking year. If it wasn't going to work out any year, it is this year. But I think, some people are overreacting. This team will be back next year in the playoffs for sure. Unless they have some crazy injuries. And I think they definitely have a shot. You got to remember, this is the first year they're together. They got put together for this year. Things didn't work out the way that they thought they would. They still have that core. If they keep that core together and, bring in one or two pieces, guys that come off the bench that could help. I feel like, a lot of the guys with the Bucks, maybe that team will get shuffled up and some of those guys could come and contribute. You get a young guy like how the Nuggets have Michael Porter. Just somebody else that could definitely contribute. I think that, they'll be right back in the mix of things. But yeah, man, when, just want to bring up the point again, when you have your two superstars that, go for 24 points, 0 for 11 in the fourth quarter, and on the other hand, you have the other team's two superstars, a triple-double and 40 points, that's what decided the fucking game. Yeah. Their guys that they count on showed up, and the guys that the Clippers count on did not show up. And, Lou Williams was off. I saw him. He missed a couple easy layups. It's just everything went wrong for them.
Yeah, I'm looking now. Montrezl Harrell led the team with 20 points. Nobody else had 15.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, he never should be your high-scoring guy. Never, ever, ever.
That is supposed to be your fourth option.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Williams, then Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah.
That was one of the things coming into the bubble that everybody was impressed with. Like, oh, shit, they got two guys averaging close to 20 that are both coming off the bench. This is the deepest team on paper, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Montrezl Harrell won Sixth Man of the Year.
There you go. And you guys come into the bubble and perform like this. My problem is you actually said it. This was their first year together. Why were you guys not fucking taking it serious as far as the chemistry goes? You were taking games off. You were taking practices off. And it showed. You came into the game and you guys shit the fucking bed.
Yeah.
You know? So it's... To me, it's unacceptable for this team to be up 3-1 and lose the fucking series.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. Like, you could see if they just lost regularly,
a
7-game series, you're like, all right, they ain't have it.
Yeah, if it was like 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, they're keeping up with you. But you were up 3-1.
Yeah.
And Doc Rivers, this is your third time being up 3-1 and losing the series.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you lost a couple series where it was 3-2. It's looking, I don't know, they need to come together. And for everybody saying that Tyronn Lue should be the next head coach, let's relax a little bit. Because me personally, I feel like LeBron coached that team in Cleveland. There was multiple times where I saw him yelling at Tyronn Lue. And Tyronn Lue was probably like, all right, you got it, LeBron.
Yeah.
Who do you want in? Oh, you want JR in? Okay, I'll put him in.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying to get rid of Doc Rivers, but he has to be the voice of no, Kawhi, you're not taking fucking tonight off. No, Paul George, you're not missing practice. You know what I mean? Like, he has to be that leader in the locker room where it's like he has to take fucking control. Period.
Yeah, that's what a head coach is supposed to do. And, like you said, it obviously showed, not playing together a lot, these guys. And, there's some story going around where in the fourth quarter, a lot of guys couldn't play past 3 minutes without wanting to be taken out and get rest.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, these are grown men, and you're in a bubble, and this is what you've been doing for the past, month and a half now. And you're still not in shape, or you're still going back and forth with the limit restrictions. So I don't know, what happened there, and that's something that Doc Rivers is gonna have to correct and get a hold of this team and let them know how the way he's gonna run his program over there in LA. But yeah, man, you just talk about a complete meltdown for the Clippers. That for sure happened last night, and no one saw it happening that bad.
No.
If it was gonna happen, all right, the Nuggets would win by 2 or 3 or something like that. But they just got their ass kicked. Where I believe it was like 10 minutes where they didn't even score in the fourth, like the whole team, and they just looked like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
I think I was listening to it on the way, and I think it was like 7.5 minutes or some shit, which is it's crazy. You have supposedly two of the best players in the league, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
One bucket.
One fucking bucket, and you got one of the best 6 men ever to play the game in Lou Williams, and you guys can't get a fucking bucket. And another thing that kind of pissed me off about this whole thing is in the post-game interview, Paul George said this wasn't a championship year or bust. Like a championship or bust kind of year. I'm like, I disagree with that mentality. I feel like every fucking year should be championship or bust. I hate when like if the Knicks were to win 38 games next year, and people are like, "Oh, that's a good year." No, it's fucking not. They only won 38 games.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, realistically, they're not set to win a championship, but that should be the goal every fucking year.
Yeah, it's like the Nuggets. No one saw them, potentially, fighting for a championship, and they could be, definitely on their way to that, because, they set out that goal out at the beginning of the year. They weren't like, we're just going to build more chemistry with Jokic and Murray and see what happens. And, hey, if we lose, we lose, or if we win, we win.
It's always next year. We'll show up to practice.